Homeland Security. Can you check that out? See what they're holding? This is my favorite t-shirt. I faded it out, right? Did you get the point? Did you get it? What happened? What happened here? When they lost these items right here, what happened? History repeats itself, folks. Remember that. You did good, girl. You think I'll survive? Let's find out. We'll find out, won't we? Listen to all those babies calling. Do you hear the cicadas? You hear that, just like that lull in the background? Guys, good morning. Welcome to Appalachia's Homestead. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're doing great today. Got to get my run on before the rain comes. Oh my gosh. Have you been out walking? Have you been out running? Are you lifting weights? Are you doing all the things? Get that stress down because, hey guys, inflation came in hotter than expected this morning. Are you excited? So give me a hug. I'm gonna go a little bit further up here. Maybe it'll not be as noisy and whatnot. Hope you had a great Mother's Day weekend. I did not film yesterday. I'm gonna tell you, it wasn't planned, but I kind of took the day off. I mean, there is no such thing, but I did just rest a little bit more. I got some chores done and some errands done. And you know what I found out? That inflation report that I'm promising you from Aldi. I went to Aldi and filmed and took all my numbers down and came home, had a great weekend, and my whole goal was to have that video up yesterday. And I got the report out and started doing the math, and I went, how did I miss the ground beef? Can somebody tell me, well, how did I do that? So, had to go back to Aldi last night. I would only do that just for you, honey. Give me a hug, give me a smooch. Just for you. So that is coming up later this afternoon. So I may have 3 videos today. Who knows? I might get froggy. And that's coming up, but I'm getting my run in this morning. And I just want to talk to you about this because this is il est très important. All right? It is. I probably messed that up, you know. That's what 5 years of French gets you right there, you know. Parlez-vous français, you know. Hey, I got pretty good there for a while with it. I actually did. Then you forget. If you don't use it, you lose it. Right. But listen, those numbers came out this morning. How is it looking for you? It drives me so nuts to hear people actually debate whether or not you've been in a recession. Or wait, are you going into a recession? Honey, you can't go into it if your big booty's already sitting in it. Okay? Don't let them fool you. You guys, if you knew the real numbers, I repeat myself now over and over. If you knew the real numbers, you're going to be in a depression, okay? Don't worry about what these buffoons are trying to totally manipulate the masses with because it's an election selection year. How do you feel about it? How's your job going, okay? If you're one that's out there saying, I'm doing great. I mean, yeah, prices are up a little bit, but I'm still going to Disney. And I'm still doing the things, and we're going to the beach next week. And yeah, we're going to go on some weekend trips this summer, and we don't have a problem. Let me tell you, if that is your case right now, you are so blessed, because I'm guaranteeing you just about everybody else around you is saying something different. Okay, this is why I push you so hard. I do. I push everybody around me so hard. It's ridiculous. That we're in this position to where we have to say, well, how's the numbers working out for you? Did you see today about Red Lobster? Big shock, I'm sure. I mean, I hate to say it, but I'm pretty confident that at least the ones around here, probably the quality of service and or food, as far as a Red Lobster, has probably gone down. And I base that only because on the idea of it's happening with just about everywhere you go to eat. If you go out to eat, most people now are just not even going out to eat anymore. I mean, it's not even about the money so much. It is. But in addition to that, you've got the whole situation of, I'm serious when I say this. We talked about Chili's the other day. I would rather go through a drive-through. I would rather hit like the Wendy's drive-through and pay $4.99 and buy myself a kid's meal cheeseburger and add pickles to it, please, and just eat that, because the quality is probably going to be the same. And, you know, instead of spending 20 or 30 bucks on a meal, something crazy like that, or even 15 bucks for a meal, I would rather spend $4.99. I'm going to get less junk because of size-wise. I feel like I got a little something. I didn't have to cook, and I saved a bunch of money. I mean, that is where a lot of restaurants, now some of your mom and pop single places, hopefully overall are still doing decent, but people can't afford the prices. And if they're going to splurge on something, they'll cook at home and they'll go get an ice cream somewhere. But Red Lobster apparently is closing a bunch of places down. I thought that we heard that maybe last year or the year before already. But apparently I read this article on Zero Hedge like 15 minutes ago, a bunch more. And the funny thing is that we were talking about this on Mother's Day. We were all together talking about that. And I said, is our Red Lobster closing in Knoxville? Some just weird shenanigans. I think we've got 2 Red Lobsters in Knoxville. One is in West Knoxville and then in North Knoxville. But I haven't eaten it one of years. But guys, I mean, it is insulting for anybody to sit around and to go, I don't think are we going to have a soft landing? Ask the average consumer, ask the average mom, ask the average person that is going to the grocery store once a week and just picking up just average items. Like we said the other day, a lot of times people, when they're going to the grocery store now, they're just picking up the very basics of what they need. A milk, maybe, a loaf of bread, eggs, some bologna, a bag of chips, some bananas, and they're just squeezing by. Now, that may not be what you buy, okay? I get that, because this is a different audience to some degree, because you raise your own hogs, you raise your own chickens, yada, 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 yada. But here's the thing. You are totally squeezed by the prices, too, because guess what? You're going out and you're having to buy feed of some sort. Yeah, you are. You're having to buy supplements, minerals. Hey, there is something that you're doing on a weekly, monthly basis for your homestead or farm that you recognize the price increase is insanity. So you pile up with that, with food, gas, job loss, and all of the above. We're all in this stinking mess together. And this is why I tell people, this is deliberate, okay? They have sat around for the last 2+ years and have completely jerked around with interest rates and all the things that are going on. And the debate is always, are they going to raise it or are they going to lower it? Are they going to raise it or It is nuts for them to lower interest rates. It is total nuts. It is nuts that they have to raise it more, because frankly, they should have already done it, but they're afraid of breaking things. They're afraid of breaking it. That's what you hear them say, breaking it. Well, then it's going to be, they'll make a move of some sort when the wheel falls off. And as we heard this morning, the wheel is about to fall off. So what they'll do is they'll cut interest rates. Well, if they cut interest rates, in my personal opinion, and it's probably the opinion of most of you guys out there, they're doing things because it's an election selection year. The problem is we're looking at inflation that has just swooped back around and is just biting you right on the butt, okay? Just biting us all in the rear. But it's an selection year. So will they do something? We will find out, obviously. But here's the problem, as you know, and as you may not know. If they cut rates, it's going to skyrocket inflation even more. So what do we do? What does the average mama bear do? What does the average dad do? The same thing we've been telling you. The same thing that we're doing. Making sure that we stay out of debt. Making sure that we try to put food away. Making sure that we have a nest egg. We're trying to cushion our home, our farm, our family as much as possible. That also goes along with a lot of prayer and discussion, because you have to psychologically prepare everybody around you. I'm not telling you to give people money, but I do tell you for a fact that you should be putting a few items away for people that you love, because I'm telling you, it's all around us now. People losing their jobs, people becoming devastated. You know, I read a comment about an hour ago as I was running around the house, getting ready to come up here and run and stuff, and I was trying to catch up with comments. And there's a lady, and I want to say this to you, I hope you see this. There's a dear lady that made a comment this morning on my last video. She was talking about in 1 week, a couple years ago, in 1 week, they lost their son, one of their sons, and both parents lost their jobs in a week. Pick or choose any of those situations, that's bad enough. But a child loss and 2 job losses in a week. And people want to question whether or not things are bad. Yeah, that's pretty rough. They came back from it. They're trying to work and save, and they paid off their mortgage. She writes all about it. But I just sat there and I go, as bad as things are, there are people around us. And this lady comments on my channel, and I'm just like, the things that people have recently gone through, the things that people are continuing to go through. This is why I encourage you so hard to be prepared as possible. There is no escaping this. The denial is not going to make it go away. We just have to prepare and do the best that we can. And here's the thing. If your bologna or eggs are just a little bit more expensive and you don't experience a job loss and things tick along great for you, what is the worst scenario? You've paid off debt, you have extra food in the pantry, you learned some new skills, you've got maybe you went hog wild and learned a little bit more self-defense, and maybe you went even crazier and got a little silver or something like that. I mean, what's the worst thing that can happen with being prepared? Nothing. What is the worst scenario if you don't? This is what we're trying to continue to encourage you to buffer yourself from. Because we don't know what the future brings. And I will tell you what, this whole deal of them telling you that that inflation is going to come down in 2025. Well, really? Well, you didn't know that it was going to be hotter than expected today. So how can you predict what it's going to be like in 6 months to a year? Because, you just didn't know. I mean, you were expecting this, but you got this. You were expecting this, but you got this. So why? It's all a bunch of bunk. Use the brain that God and Granny gave you and just look at the number and go, you didn't think that was going to happen? Oh, look here, Red Lobster's closing now too. And oh, this is closing now too. What are the numbers going to be tomorrow? Oh, I'm sure they're going to be grand. Are you bracing yourself? You should be. So this is what I'm saying. So we're going to continue to keep up with inflation because it's affected all of us, okay? Whether people want to talk about it or not, lie about it or not, it is affecting all of us at some point now. I mean, are there wealthy people benefiting from the absolute squash of the middle class and the poor? Absolutely they are. But remember, they're just a small minority of the population. What is your economy telling you? Not what the TV and the buffoons on social media, and you can put me in the buffoon you can put me in the buffoon category too if you want to, but all I want you to do is to sit back and go, how is it really, really looking these days? When I go out, even though I can afford to get groceries still and things that I want, what am I seeing around me? What are my friends saying on social media? What are are people losing jobs, and is it going better for them after? Are they able to replace that with a job just like it, or a better job? Or are they having to go to Arby's and Domino's and Papa John's, serving tables again? I mean, I can't tell you how many times I go to a grocery store. If I go to a grocery store, even James mentioned this the other day. He's like, I ran by the store. He said, the lady that checked me out, he said, Patara, if she had to have been 80 years old. I said, right, because she has to work. She has to work. It's not because she wants to, because she's bored at home. It's because she has to. People are having to go back to these jobs, or people are having to pick up extra jobs, or people aren't quitting their jobs when they want to be retired because they can't afford it. This is why I keep telling people, I'm like, please do your best. Please pray and do your best to hang on to whatever you've got as long as you can, even if you hate it. Because I'll tell you what, you may hate your job today. We've talked about this many times. You may hate your job today. I get it. But you're going to hate it worse if you were to walk away and you can't replace that income. If you can, hallelujah, praise the Lord. Good on you. That's what we want. And every now and then somebody lucks out. I get it. But it's fewer and far in between. We are trying to psychologically prepare our sons. I have 2 sons in college right now, and I know some of you are like, I can't believe you sent... First of all, I can't or can't not do an adult do anything. I have 2 sons that are in college, and both of them have a 4.0 this semester. Both of them do. And one is in graphic design at this time, and one is in neuroscience. Smart. Really, I honestly think he wants to become a doctor. I'm not going to push that. That's going to be his decision. We need good Christian doctors out there, so hallelujah. How do you think these people are going to get these jobs, right? They have to go to college. That's the way the system is shaped and worked up. We as parents homeschooled our kids. We talk to our boys. We do the best that we can to guide them and keep praying on it. But here's my point. We are being very blunt with them right now. Very, very blunt in terms of the job market, okay? This is why we have chosen to go the path. They are debt-free, they are on scholarship, and we try to continue to encourage them to see beyond these years of what the future is going to be and to work very hard, etc., etc. But believe me, I rain on the parade a lot. And I'm like, I want you to be realistic and understand what is going on around you and how things could look for all of us in a year, 5 years, 10 years from now. So yes, be smart, be debt-free, keep working hard, doing all the things, learning all the things here as well. Be well-rounded. Don't get in any debt. That's the big push, because the fact of the matter is, guys, jobs. I mean, yeah, you can work a small job now and all of these things, but I'm saying to these boys, listen to me, don't rule out going back to a trade. Absolutely. Did you see that? Going back to a trade. This is what we're pushing. This is what we're talking. We have to be realistic. We have to be realistic with ourselves, and we have to be realistic with the people around us. Because, folks, when the wheel falls off, and I'm going to close with this, when the wheel falls off, there's going to be a lot of people that even if deep down they sensed this isn't normal, this isn't good, what if, there's going to be some people that may not handle things very well. And it's very important that you continue to have open dialogue, even if they're mad at you about it. Oh, God, Mom, shut up. Or, oh, why are you talking about this again? Oh, you're just, actually the reality is I don't get that anymore. Couple years ago, yeah, you'd be like, some people would be, let's just get through COVID and let's just, and I understood that to a point, but I was still over here like this little hummingbird going, I was that little pest right there. You got to be that person. These people need to continually hear and understand what's going on around them, because they're listening and they're seeing, and hopefully the seed is planted for them to prepare. And it's not just 18, 20, 25-year-olds. I know people that are in their 40s, 50s, and they're like, Do I have to accept this reality? It doesn't matter if you do, it's coming for you. So we're going to keep up with the numbers. I'm going to have my inflation video. I'm going to get all my stuff done as much as possible to beat this rain. I've got to fertilize my tomatoes. I bought a new fertilizer recommended by you guys. I'm going to try it out. It wasn't expensive. I'll show it. And got to work on some gardens this morning before the rain hits. But that inflation video is coming up. Like, subscribe, and share, guys. I missed you yesterday. Give me a hug. Guys, you knew. You know. It is what it is. What are you going to do about it? You're going to pray. You're going to be strong. You're going to prepare because you know that's the right thing. You're going to be peaceful, but you're going to be peaceful because you're too busy and you're not going to be listening to none of this other nonsense. Okay? Where do they have you? Economically. That's where they got you. Okay? All the shenanigans that are pulled ultimately come around to controlling your mind and controlling your finances. That's where they got you. That's all that you saw in 2020, 2021, 2022. It wasn't a concern about a crisis. It was about your mind and your finances. Look at all the small businesses. Look all that has come out of that. Total crime. Total crime. And nothing is by accident. You have to hedge your bets against all of it. Get out of the system. Get out of it as much as possible, okay? That starts with you. It starts with you and me, and that's what we're doing. Guys, I'll see you on the next video. Like, subscribe, and share. Godspeed, God bless, and woo, good to be back. I'll see you in just a little bit later this afternoon again. Y'all take care.